cause, a principle, aim, or movement that because of a deep commitment, one is prepared to defend or advocate. Karibu. Karibu is a Kiswahili word that means welcome. Welcome, you found yourself in a peaceful place, a place where you can grow and develop, and we hope grow and develop to your fullest potential. This is a podcast that we hope will expand your mind and raise your consciousness. Welcome to The Cause, conversations on music, history, and democracy.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed.
Welcome to The Cause, conversations on music, history, and democracy. I'm Dr. Reiland Rabaka, and today we return to a speech so familiar that we risk forgetting how radical it was and how radical it still is. I'm talking about Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech, delivered on August 28, 1963, at the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. For many Americans, this speech has been flattened into a soundbite, domesticated into a civics lesson, or reduced to a few soaring lines recited once a year. But when Dr. King spoke that day, that fateful day, on August 28, 1963, he was not offering poetry for posterity. He was issuing a moral summons. He was naming a vision of democracy that demanded structural change. And although he never explicitly used the phrase, he was articulating powerfully and publicly a conception of what he elsewhere called the beloved community. Today's episode explores that claim. First, we ask, what key contributions does the I Have a Dream speech make to King's broader conception of the beloved community? Second, we examine how King's masterful use of language, anaphora, metaphor, allusion, imagery, and symbol expanded and deepened our collective capacity to imagine that community, the beloved community. Third, we consider how King used the speech to include and bring together people across lines of race, class, religion, region, and politics. And finally, we confront a challenge that belongs to us. Why is it not enough to quote the speech, but necessary to build on Dr. King's conception of the beloved community in the 21st century? Because a dream deferred can become a dream denied unless it is made real. Welcome to The Cause. The March on Washington did not emerge from nowhere. It was the culmination of decades of struggle. Reconstruction betrayed, Jim Crow entrenched, Black labor exploited, Black citizenship denied. By 1963, the civil rights movement had already faced fire hoses in Birmingham, mass arrests in Albany, and assassinations across the South. Dr. King arrived in Washington not as a lone prophet, but as part of a movement ecosystem. Organizers, artists, labor leaders, clergy, and students. The march itself was multiracial and multi-religious, interfaith, animated by demands for voting rights, fair employment, desegregation, and economic justice. This context matters because the I Have a Dream speech was never just about racial segregation and social integration. It was about democracy's broken promises. King began by situating the moment historically. 50 years ago, a deliberate echo of Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address. With that phrase, King located the civil rights movement within the unfinished work of the Emancipation Proclamation. The dream he articulated was not a new demand, but a demand that the nation honor its own claims. This move is central to the beloved community. King did not reject American ideals outright. He radicalized them. He insisted that American democracy must become what it said it would with the Emancipation Proclamation and the Juneteenth Proclamation, otherwise known as General Order Number 3, which was issued by Major General Gordon Granger in Galveston, Texas on June 19th, 1865. Something stirs inside of me every time I hear the part of the speech, I Have a Dream speech, where he says, in a sense, we've come to our nation's capital to cash a check. When the architects of our republic wrote the magnificent words of the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence,
they were signing a promissory note to which every American was to fall heir. This note was a promise that all men, yes, black men as well as white men, would be guaranteed the unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It is obvious today that America has defaulted on this promissory note insofar as her citizens of color are concerned. Instead of honoring this sacred obligation,
America has given black people a bad check, a check which has come back marked insufficient funds. Martin Luther King. Insufficient funds. At its core, the beloved community is a vision of social life grounded in justice, dignity, and mutual responsibility. In the I Have a Dream speech, Dr. King advances this vision in at least 3 foundational ways. First, he frames injustice as a collective moral failure. When King speaks of the bad check, marked insufficient funds, he is not merely accusing white Americans of hypocrisy. He is naming a systemic breach of trust. Democracy, he suggests, is a promissory note, and African Americans have been forced to cash it at a discount. The beloved community begins with repair, the honoring of obligations long ignored. Second, King rejects separatism without denying black pain. His dream is not of assimilation into injustice, but of transformation. When he imagines former enslavers and the formerly enslaved sitting together at the table of brotherhood and sisterhood, he is not erasing history. He is envisioning reconciliation grounded in truth and justice. The beloved community is not colorblindness. It is moral clarity. It is radically hitting the reset button. Third, King insists on nonviolence as a communal ethic. Even in the face of brutality, he calls for discipline, dignity, and the refusal to mirror hatred. This is not passive acceptance. It is active love. And love, for Dr. King, is a social force capable of reshaping institutions and repairing individuals. Not passive acceptance, but active love. One of the reasons the I Have a Dream speech endures is its extraordinary rhetorical power. But Dr. King's rhetoric is not ornamental. It is architectural. This language builds a house we can walk into. Consider anaphora, the repetition of phrases at the beginning of successive clauses. I have a dream. Let freedom ring. Each repetition is a drumbeat, a call and response rooted in Black preaching traditions and freedom songs. This rhythm does more than please the ear. It invites participation. The crowd becomes co-authors of the vision. Metaphor does heavy lifting as well. Chains and manacles give way to mountains and valleys. Darkness yields to light. These images are biblical, but also profoundly democratic. They translate abstract justice into landscapes we can see and feel. The beloved community becomes spatial, something we can move toward together. Allusion is equally important. By invoking the Declaration of Independence, Dr. King appeals to shared civic faith. By drawing on Isaiah and Amos, he invokes prophetic judgment. This fusion of sacred and secular sources establishes ethos. Dr. King speaks as both moral witness and democratic critic. And then there is personification. Justice rolling down like mighty waters, freedom ringing from mountaintops. These are not passive ideals. They are alive, active, and demanding. The beloved community is not static. It is dynamic, resonant, and always echoing.
I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, and every hill and mountain shall be made low. The rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight. And the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope. This is the faith that I go back to the South with. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. This will be the day. This will be the day when all of God's children will be able to sing with new meaning, my country, tears of thee. Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true.
The I Have a Dream speech cannot be separated from the musical traditions that shaped it. Dr. King's cadence mirrors the rise and fall of gospel preaching. His pauses invite the crowd's amens. His repetitions echo the structure of freedom songs like We Shall Overcome. Music did not merely accompany the movement. it sustained it. Spirituals, gospel, and later soul music functioned as repositories of memory and engines of hope. When King speaks of freedom ringing, he is also speaking musically, imagining American democracy as something audible, collective, and reverberating. Artists would carry this vision forward. Songs like Sam Cooke's A Change Is Gonna Come and Curtis Mayfield's People Get Ready translate Dr. King's vision into sound, hopeful, aching, and insistent. These songs do cultural work similar to Dr. King's speech. They help us feel what justice might sound like. The beloved community, in this sense, has always had a soundtrack.
Are you ready to dive deep into the rich histories, cultures, and arts of Africa and the African diaspora? At the Center for African and African American Studies, affectionately known as The Cause, we're leading the way in research, arts, and student engagement at the University of Colorado, Boulder. The Cause is more than just a research center. It's a space where students, faculty, artists, allies, and activists come together to explore African and African American experiences, from historical legacies to modern cultural expressions. And at the heart of it all, our students, playing a central role in everything we do. They're the future of this important cultural legacy, working side by side with faculty on groundbreaking projects and events that impact not just the campus, but the community and wider world. Research projects and events that impact not just our beloved CU campus, but the community and world at large.
Our mission? To foster academic excellence, social responsibility, and artistic expression, with programs that inspire leadership and advocacy for social justice. Whether you're interested in visual arts, music, or deepening your understanding of African American culture, The Cause is the place for you.
But we can't do it alone. The Cause relies on the generous support of our community to continue making a difference. By giving to the Center for African and African American Studies, you help us expand research, create opportunities for artists, support our students, and drive meaningful social change. And right now, your gift will go even further. All donations will be matched by CU Boulder Chancellor Justin Swartz for up to $1 million or until May 30th, 2026. To make your impact today, visit colorado.edu/center/cause and click on Support the Cause. Every contribution, large or small, brings us closer to a future of unity, knowledge, and transformation.
So, if you're looking for a community where history, culture, and creativity converge, visit the Center for African and African American Studies at CU Boulder. Come join The Cause and be a part of a movement for unity, knowledge, and social change.
Learn more and give today at colorado.edu/center/cause. We can't wait to welcome you to The Cause.
Perhaps the most remarkable aspect of the I Have a Dream speech is how expansively inclusive it is, without ever diluting its demands. See, that's the key. Expansively inclusive, without ever diluting its demands. Dr. King speaks to African Americans whose patience has been exhausted. He speaks to white Americans whose consciences are unsettled. He speaks to workers, students, clergy, veterans, and children. His we is capacious, but not vague. It is a we forged through accountability. When Dr. King declares that his children will be judged not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character, he is not arguing against structural analysis. He is asserting a moral horizon, one in which institutions and individuals are aligned toward human dignity. This is the beloved community in motion. It welcomes difference while insisting on justice. It imagines a society where diversity is not managed through domination, but honored through equality. What does the I Have a Dream speech mean today? We live in an era of renewed voter suppression, racialized violence, economic precarity, and democratic backsliding. The language of Dr. King's dream is often invoked, but too often stripped of its radical content. Quoted without context, the speech can be used to silence protest rather than inspire it. Now, I want you to think about that. Give this some deep thought. When the I Have a Dream speech is quoted without context, the speech can be used to silence protest rather than inspire it. See, that's that old tired politics of respectability stuff. There's nothing wrong with us getting up, standing up for our rights, and never giving up the fight. I'm quoting Bob Marley. You see? So the speech, I Have a Dream, is actually about us not deferring Dr. King's dream. You see? Not putting it off. And the heart of the dream, the real crux of it, and what makes it so unique and enduring is that it's actually a radical dream. It's a radical dream in the midst of a national nightmare. But if we listen carefully, Dr. King is not calling for patience without pressure. He is calling for urgency without hatred. He is demanding that democracy become real. We got too many people talking about democracy. We need more people doing democracy. The beloved community remains unfinished. That is not a failure of the dream. It is a measure of its ambition. King did not offer closure. He offered direction. He offered inspiration. Movements today, from racial justice to climate justice, from labor organizing to struggles for gender justice and sexual freedom, continue to draw on this moral framework. When activists insist that injustice anywhere threatens justice everywhere, they are echoing King's dream. Art has a special place in the beloved community. And for those of us who, want to create the beloved community, art can serve as a source of inspiration and motivation. And so I have a poem here. This is the Poetic Pause. I have a poem here where I attempt to translate some of the ideals and imagery and vibe and feel of the I Have a Dream speech into poetry. And so this is a brand new piece. It's called We Dreamed of a World. The dream did not arrive, wrapped in certainty. It came breathing hard, knees dusty, asking for water, asking for names, asking who would stand watch when the night learned our addresses. It came from backs bent over impossible days, from hands that knew both hymn and hammer, from mouths trained to swallow rage and still sing. The dream learned early that beauty is not fragile. It survives smoke. It survives sirens. It survives being postponed. Some of us dreamed with our eyes open, counting the cracks in the sidewalk, measuring distance by danger. Some of us dreamed with children asleep on our chests, listening to the quiet insistence of breath saying, "Stay." The dream never scolded us for being tired. It only asked us not to confuse rest with retreat. We dreamed of a world where words did not bruise on impact, where law did not tilt its head to decide who mattered, where the future did not arrive already handcuffed. We dreamed of streets that recognized us, of schools that taught more than obedience, of work that did not steal the hours meant for love. The dream understood structure. It knew that kindness without backbone crumbles under pressure, that hope must learn accounting, must audit power, must insist on receipts. So it spoke of promises, written, signed, overdue, and demanded payment in dignity, in access, in air that did not choke. The dream learned to speak in repetitions because memory needs rhythm to survive erasure. It said the same thing again and again until the meaning stood up straight. It said now until now stopped sounding unreasonable. It said together until solitude lost its authority. It imagined a table large enough for argument, for grief, for laughter that startled the room. No one erased, no one reduced to a lesson. Difference was not a threat. It was a language. We practiced until fluent. The dream asked us to bring our whole selves, even the parts shaped by damage. Some nights the dream shook. Gunfire interrupted its sentences. Policy rearranged its furniture, but it did not vanish. It learned new routes. It borrowed new voices. It hid in marches, in kitchens, in the stubborn patience of people who refused disappearance. Now the dream looks at us with familiar eyes, asks if we recognize it without the ceremony. It asks if we will build instead of quote, risk instead of recite. It asks if we understand that dreaming is a form of labor, that the beautiful world requires maintenance. The dream is not behind us. It is unfinished, waiting in the space between what is and what we refuse to accept. It is calling us not upward, but inward and outward at once to become the community we keep naming, to make the future a shared responsibility. Ooh, we dream of a world where words do not bruise on impact, where law did not tilt its head to decide who mattered, where the future did not arrive already handcuffed. We dreamed of streets that recognized us, of schools that taught us more than obedience, of work that did not steal the hours meant for love, love, and more love. Woo! We dreamed of a world. The power of dreams. Yeah. The power of dreams, dream work, dream wisdom. Yeah. A lot of my books, a lot of my ideas come to me in my dreams. So I hope y'all are keeping those dream journals. If you want to be like Martin Luther King, you've got to dream. All right. It's time for us to close out. We've reached the end. And so here is the conclusion and call to action, where we go from dream to reality, So let me close with this. The danger of the I have a dream speech is not that it is remembered, but that it is remembered incorrectly. It is misremembered. The danger is nostalgia without commitment, reverence without responsibility. Dr. King's dream was not meant to be admired. It was meant to be enacted. The beloved community is not a metaphor we quote. It is a practice we build. It requires policies that protect the vulnerable, economies that value people over profit, cultures that cultivate empathy, and democracies that demand participation. I feel like Ella Baker and her emphasis on participatory democracy. In fact, Ella Baker said, you don't have democracy if people ain't participating in the democracy. Y'all can't hear me. John, is my mic on? Huh? I'm trying to close out. Woo! The question before us is not whether Dr. King had a dream. The question is whether we are willing to do the work to turn his dream into our reality, to let freedom ring, not only in memory, but in material conditions, to make real the promissory note of democracy, to build communities where justice is not exceptional, but ordinary. That's the kind of world we want to live in. That's the beloved community. In case somebody got it twisted and crooked, I want to try to give you a vision of what the beloved community could be like and sound like and feel like in the 21st century. To build communities where justice is not exceptional, but ordinary. If we do that, if we take Martin Luther King seriously, then the dream does not remain his. It becomes ours. And while I still have you here, I want you to take a listen to the Beloved Community playlist that I have especially curated just for you. So when you get to your community rally, when you get to your synagogue, your mosque, your church, your Buddhist temple, wherever you may go, linking up with other people, whoever you are in community with, I'm going to give you a little soundtrack. We are going to bring the beloved community into being one beat and one rhyme at a time. Yes, art has a special place in the beloved community. I also want you all to check out our brand new web page on the Center for African and African American Studies website. We have a brand new beloved community program. And if you are a part of a progressive institution or organization, please join us in building the beloved community. That is the brand new Center for African and African American Studies Beloved Community Program. Please check it out on our website And once again, we have a special beloved community playlist, a soundtrack for building the beloved community just for you. Please check it out. Listen, learn, and keep loving. Let's all keep building the beloved community. Thank you for listening to The Cause, conversations on music, history, and democracy. I'm your host, Dr. Reiland Rabaka. Until next time, keep dreaming, but more importantly, keep building the beloved community. Peace.
Thank you for joining us for the Cause Podcast with Dr. Reiland Rabaka. For your letters, questions, and suggestions regarding the podcast, email us, thecause@gmail.com. CAAAS. The Cause Podcast with Dr. Reiland Rabaka is produced and edited by John Arnold and is a production of the Center for African and African American Studies, The Cause, at the University of Colorado Boulder. For more information, visit us online at colorado.edu/center/cause. CAAAS.
Class is in session, so come and get your lesson. Ooh, the Cause Podcast. I love that. Do you love that?